hide the... Are we live?
Do we have Twisted Tea?
No, you guys have everything.
We're live.
Are we live?
We're live. Yeah.
We are live.
Live for a podcast.
3, 2, 1. Hey, it's Unnecessary Roughness, Barstool's college football podcast. We are live. We are live right now on our podcast, brought to you by Twisted Tea. Thank you to Twisted Tea for being our sponsor. They're wonderful, and I would imagine watching that game, both Ole Miss and Miami fans could have used a nice, refreshing Twisted Tea. But here we are.
Brandon, you know what? You deserve a Twisted Tea.
I can enjoy a brisk one right now, and thank God I can enjoy it, because my God,
Got one in his hand right now.
my God, we dodged a bullet right there. We dodged a bullet of Ole Miss playing for a national title after getting Miami just beat Ole Miss by 3 touchdowns and won by 4. That's what just happened. Anyway. A lot to talk about. Hi, T-Bob.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi, Big F.
What a game. What a game.
Hello, Brandon. Brandon, what a
God.
Yeah, go ahead.
what a day. What a day.
What a day. What a day indeed.
What a football game.
I lost my
football
Ole Miss
game. That was
money line
fun.
bet. Drats.
Shucks.
Kayce, we watched it in the cave together. It turned out to be a fourth quarter classic, a wonderful game, an awesome finish. And when you envisioned this playoff years ago, you envisioned nights like this one. It didn't start out like that, but that doesn't matter. I guess let's focus on the bigger picture of the kind of quality game we just watched.
Well, first of all, watching the end of that game and everybody being on the same page in the cave, again, and I know there's NFL fans that listen to this podcast too, but like that, the way that feels is just so college football. Like all of us are rooting for different teams throughout the season and the way we're all standing there. But I mean, it coming down to Carson Beck scoring the final touchdown after how inaccurate he looked so many times during the game. He looked like shit most of that game.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he gave us the full Carson Beck experience tonight. I think he gave us moments of brilliance. He gave us big time touchdowns, big time throws, and then he gave us, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?" He gave us that.
There was a couple balls that looked like they were stopped midair. Like they went just like in slow motion, just like, or
he had a
trying to
couple
hit the
of,
Jumbotron. Liam said it at one point.
You got a couple of duck farts.
Yeah,
Straight
a
up.
couple duck farts.
There's no other way to put it.
T-Bob,
Yo.
the bigger picture, we're in a hot air balloon looking down on that game. What sticks out?
I mean, the overall quality of the game, dude. And again, like you said, one of the biggest disconnects that I've maybe ever seen between a box score and the actual final score of the game. Because make no mistake, Miami did dominate, but this is a credit to Ole Miss to even be able to wither the. Because look, when you have a great game like this between two great teams, I cannot escape boxing analogies, right? And Miami comes out there and they're just fucking peppering Ole Miss with combinations. I mean, body shots, efficient, and then Ole Miss lands a haymaker. Then Miami does that. But for Ole Miss to withstand.
Stop.
Yes.
Is the audio bad? Is my mic fucked?
No, it's fixed.
No,
fixed.
we're good. You're good.
It was hot at the beginning. It's fixed now. It's fixed.
Everybody's telling me my mic is fucked.
No. It wasn't.
And I don't want to do a show unless we stop and do it.
No. I think they're
it sounds
delayed.
great.
Everybody
they were
thinks
delayed.
it sounds good in this room.
It sounds good now. It was bad at the beginning. It sounds good
T-Bob,
now.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was probably fucking just rambling. But no. It is.
Don't worry about it.
It was the rhythm of the game, the fight, the moments. I mean, if you didn't have a rooting interest, which I fucking hate Ole Miss, so make no mistake, I wanted Miami to win, but I wouldn't like cared too much. Like what a special game we were just treated to, and I'm impressed with Ole Miss's toughness, despite the fact that they ate about 18,000 body blows from Miami. Like I definitely thought Miami was going to be able to pull away there because of the nature of the game, and certainly Miami made a lot of mistakes. But I'm more impressed with this Miami team, man. And the story of Miami is so clear now in that this is not the team that we saw beat Notre Dame. This is not the team that lost 2 games in the middle of the season. They did not know themselves. They know themselves now. And what they are is a true smash mouth motherfucking football road grader team. They're going to beat you on the lines of scrimmage, and that's how they're going to win the game. And I believe they are a spot on 50-50 foe with either Oregon or Indiana with the form that they are in right now, especially with what I just saw to Carson Beck and his $4 million drive, guys. That's a $4 million drive. That's how you justify that paycheck.
I couldn't disagree more with some of those points.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say, I'm going to tee up Big Ev. I don't know if I'm going to put thoughts in his head or words in his mouth. But I just bet Ohio State fans watch that game tonight saying, boy, I wish this was the Miami we got to play. I wish this Miami that is dropping four interceptions. This Miami that is every time they get something good happen, they commit a penalty. They're dropping balls. Carson Beck has a tipped interception. Like, Miami made mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. Miami should have won this game by 3 touchdowns. They almost lost. I'll get to Miami's quality in a minute, but Big Ev, as an Ohio State fan, you had to be looking like, what the fuck?
No, 100%. The thing that I was going to say was I obviously agree with T-Bot in terms of the domination on the line of scrimmage. I think the part I disagreed with is that I don't know if Miami's offensive coordinator does know themselves. I don't think he knows the team very well. Because the way they just kept dropping back and throwing the ball, I was like, what are they doing? Like, you're getting 6 yards a clip, pound the rock. Like, right before Carson Beck threw that pick, they got bad at the line of scrimmage. I tweeted, I was like, if Miami doesn't throw another pass again, they're going to win this game. Immediate pick. They dominated the football game. Like, they should have won at least by 17 points. And it's not the takeaway from how good Miami is. It's more like it's felt like they were holding themselves back through some of the play calling. Like, if they just pound the football, it might even be vanilla. But that's what your football team is. And even towards the end, like, I think they were struggling in the second half defensively. They had a ton of injuries. Obviously, the secondary guys were hurt. That was a big problem. But also just kind of a captive to Trinidad, too, because I think you can really tell how good a quarterback is or how well he's playing by the fear he instills in you on the other side. Mm-hmm. I mean, they had the ball with 20 seconds left. I was thinking they're about to score.
Yeah.
Like, when they got to the 35-yard line, I was like, he's about to throw a touchdown right now. They're going to win this game. And I think that's credit to just how dominant he's been and how many plays he's made. But, I mean, Miami's legit. I just think they need to stay out of their own way. They can beat anybody. Like, they have the talent and they have the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. They have what it takes. I just think they were holding themselves back so much. And Carson Beck is a fine player, and that absolutely was a $4 million drive at the end. But also, like, at a certain point, you have to protect him from himself. And he's throwing ducks on these deep balls. Like, he's I don't know. They just the play calling by the OC was head scratching.
And holding on to the ball forever. There were times where he was just refused to let it go. And he was just like, "Come on, Carson! Like, we're seeing it. We're couch quarterbacking it." But I agree with you, Ev. I completely agree.
I think I agree with. I guess I agree that Miami made a lot of mistakes that led them back in this game, like throwing the ball before half, which resulted in the sack, which allowed the 3-point kind of comp for Ole Miss to end up with 3 points. What are the other ones that I had written down here? Beck throwing the pick, Miami dropping all the easy picks, missed field goal. Like, there were mistakes. I don't know about play calling though, because I mean it's 51 runs to 37 passes by the time it's all said and done, and that's with the vast majority of the final drive, by nature of being a final drive, having to be through the air. So like I don't know. I thought Miami was fantastic. Like when the defense wasn't as hurt, when they were fully dialed, that felt like a true national championship level team.
Blutman, I just want to point out one more take on that, one more little thing. Fornelli tweeted it, I believe, but after Beck threw that pick, and Miami was up 4 at the time, they were going to go up 11 if they scored a touchdown. Beck threw a pick. It was a 13-play drive, 11 runs, and 2 passes. 1 was incomplete. 1 was an interception to stop the drive. Like, that's what they were fucking around with when they were so dominant. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Blutman, I haven't allowed you to give your elevator pitch on this game and just the overall 2,000-foot view on it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Ev to an extent.
How's that, Mike?
That one's a little low.
Low?
Yeah.
Do you want me to talk louder like this? Does that work?
That
sounds better.
Yeah.
I think I agree with Ev to an extent that I think Ohio State and Georgia fans both watched that game, and the programs, the teams, the players, coaches absolutely kicking themselves that they weren't there in that spot. It's not to say that was a phenomenal college football game. That was super entertaining from start to finish. There were highs, there were lows, there were great plays, great mistakes. That was a true college football game. I'm so glad that we got to witness that. I think Ole Miss did a superb job of just getting rid of the ball quickly and negating Miami's pass rush in that fashion. I think Miami was able to overcome and persevere a game that they lose more often than not, or that you get where I'm getting, T-Bob, that Miami...
It was a classic Krista
That
fraud.
felt like a classic Krista fraud game where
yeah.
they made countless mistakes. There was a potential for a clock management disaster. There were just idiotic penalties at times, and right guard, left tackle were making constant mistakes. The left tackle's feet looked like they were stuck, like they were glued into the sodfather's grass. That was a game that I feel like Miami, who had been building so much momentum and playing such consistent, great, elite national championship caliber winning ball, where they fall flat and they lose, and they're able to overcome that. I think that is a testament to Mario Cristobal and this program and this staff, these players, that they're able to overcome that and win this game. Carson Beck, I think, I just don't understand how Ohio State really stood there and let him pick them apart underneath on a consistent basis a week and a half ago. It doesn't make any sense to me why they weren't why they said we're afraid of Carson Beck taking us up over the top. Doesn't make any sense to me.
No, that's because I mean that's the change that they made, right? Is that, like they said in the broadcast, they stopped trying to attack as much. They start running the ball, and that's how they found themselves.
All right, do it.
Nutrafol, Brandon. Look at that luscious hair you've got going on right there. Why
thank
don't you run your hands through your hair for the people?
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm just going to dance for you.
Yeah, dance for me. Nutrafol.
Especially when I'm not on camera, it really helps.
Oh, that's a good point. I forgot that we were sharing.
Look
at him. Okay, resolutions come and go, but real lasting growth takes time and discipline. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. Plus, it is also the #1 selling health growth supplement brand. Nutrafol supplements are peer reviewed, 100% drug free, and it's all without impacting sexual performance. They've got the women's formula, the men's formula, and as I always mention, I started taking it the postpartum formula, which is very key. So skip the shortcuts and see thicker and stronger hair in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code UR. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code UR, Nutrafol.com, promo code UR.
I think what this came down to, and congratulations to Miami, who will play for their first national championship game since 2002, trying to win their first national championship since 2001. They will play either Indiana or Oregon. We previewed that in our last show, so we're just going to focus tonight on Miami and Ole Miss. To me, that game came down to dudes, and Miami's got a bunch of them. We're going to take them one by one and kind of talk about those dudes. But like Trinidad Chambliss is a dude on the other side. Keywan Lacey's a dude, but he got hurt halfway through and just wasn't the same. So they were kind of dudeless there. They had a couple nice catches. From
Perkins is a dude, I would say, huh?
Who?
Suntaran? Perkins and maybe Eccles.
Perkins was awful tonight.
Oh, okay.
I mean, listen, I think Perkins is a solid player, but I don't think he's a Reuben Bain type player. I don't. I think they got some decent players on the defense. I think tonight it finally came home to roost that defense, just when it came down to it, wasn't nearly as elite as anybody else's defense in the college football playoff. And I think we should really take our hat off to Trinidad Chambliss for putting on his Superman cape there in the fourth quarter and making that game what it became. That being said, I don't want to focus negatively on the fact that Ole Miss lost and their magical run is over. I want to focus on the dudes Miami has, because they fucked around. They fiddle-farted around. They made mistake after mistake after mistake. But ultimately, they got Malachi Tony.
He's so
they got dudes to making plays, like Malachi Tony making plays. Fletcher and the other running back was great tonight. Brown. He was great. And then Carson Beck, for all his faults, when it did matter the most tonight, the motherfucker was a dude. And we've known he's got dude in him. It's just sometimes doofus comes out. It's dude versus doofus.
It's Jekyll and Hyde, but it's dude versus doofus.
Dude versus doofus. And sometimes it's doofus, sometimes it's dude. And Big Ev, well, Kayce, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, they had a couple chances to tuck tail and run, and Carson Beck was a dude both times.
Well, and that's what, going into the season, I know you and I were on the same page with him. It was like, we know that this guy can be a dude. And at Georgia, it just didn't work out. He got injured, for whatever reason, it didn't fit. But how talented he can be. And then, it's beating a dead horse at this point because they're going to play for the national title. But the biggest thing in the 2 games they lost in the regular season was when he was a doofus. He had 6 turnovers in those 2 games. You can't play like that and win football games. And the fact that he did, put the game away at the end. But you have to go back to Malachi Tony because that touchdown run that he had, nobody even got a hand on him. He should have been tackled, right after the first down line. He somehow made it all the way to the end zone without even getting fucking touched, Brandon.
He's an unbelievable football player, T-Bob. When they needed the most, Malachi Tony and Carson Beck kind of I talked about Superman capes with listen, the last play for Carson Beck. Is it third and goal or second goal?
Second goal.
Second goal from the 3. I believe they started with first and goal from the 6 or 7. They ran with Brown, got about half of it. You think, hey, maybe they're going to go ahead and they got 2 timeouts left or they got 1 timeout left, whatever they got, and they're about to run the ball maybe again. But they drop back to pass. He scans the field. He did miss Tony a little bit. But he makes the play. He escapes out the backside, scores a touchdown, scores and runs right to the Miami band and the cheerleaders, and he's got that smile on his face. T-Bob,
yeah,
the dude did it.
Yeah, look, and again, I've retired the name Cristobal, I said after last week. Carson Beck's another guy that is forcing me to double up on my helpings of Crow because I have doubted him at every turn, probably for the last 18 or 24 months. And again, I love when a guy proves the people on the outside who are just watching. I like when the man in the arena proves us wrong. And here's what I want to highlight about Beck is that it takes when you were talking about trying to find quarterbacking intangibles in somebody that you're going to trust, what do you do when everything's on the line? And what I like for Beck's performance, what he can always carry with him for the rest of his life is throughout these playoffs, he has been very composed and very mature throughout the game. We've seen him avoid mistakes for the most part at all costs. Obviously, the batted ball tonight cost him, but he also has used his legs a ton more in this playoff, right? Being very cognizant of the setting. I'm going to have to get more involved physically here, put my body on the line a bit more here. And then when he had to turn it on, when it had to happen, and the team needed him to go win the game, to be able to turn that on and do that in the final drive when, as Kayce pointed out, like at certain times this game, he felt a bit hapless. I just couldn't be more impressed. And it's the mixture of the two. Like I said, it's the mixture of the composure and the maturity that we've seen in every game and throughout this game, but then the takeover ability on that final drive to not be like those are the margins. That's how you become a college football immortal that your fans talk about for the rest of life. Those are the moments that make you remembered forever. And as I referenced, it sounds really dumb, but it kind of justifies the entire price tag. I mean, That's the moment that you pay the $4 million for, that drive right there.
I don't think it sounds dumb at all. Yeah. I think you're absolutely correct with that.
Big F, Malachi Tony, you wanna rant about him a little bit?
No, I mean, he's special. Even honestly, the thing that stood out to me on the last drive was obviously kind of the highlight will be like Beck running in the touchdown. But it was the 2 plays before that. They get in a 3rd and long, and the whole defense is on Malachi Tony. Like, they got double, they got 3. They're trying to bracket him, double him. And Beck just steps up and just rips that ball over the middle and picks up the first down. To me, that was the game. Like, that was, like, T-Bob talking about the $4 million drive. Like, that was the $4 million throw. And it's not a throw that's going to, wow, like, you've seen better throws in the game. Like, Chambliss made better plays. But just in a, T-Bob said, a big-time moment in a big spot, you just step up and just rip a perfect ball up the middle, pick up the 3rd and long, and win the game outright instead of going to OT. Because if they go to OT, I think that's scary for Miami. Yeah. I mean, they were moving the ball up and down the field. Ole Miss was. Miami's got all the defenders hurt. Mesidor was hurt. The secondary was hurt. Like, I think they needed to score there. I think OT would have been bad news for Miami and just makes it even that much more clutch that they delivered in that spot.
Well, I mean, to your point, Ev, and I know Brandon mentioned it too, it's like the way that he was driving down with like 30 seconds left in the game. I mean, thank God they made the extra point because they were in field goal range within 1 play. I mean, Trinidad was doing whatever he wanted down that last. Just really quick, And for everybody at home that's paying attention, and I know that Brandon and Liam are on par with this, or they're up to speed. 2 of our touchdowns.
Yeah, the parlays in
The
good shape,
parlays,
boys.
good
We're live.
shape, boys. We are live. Malachi Tony and Keywan Lacey tonight. So tomorrow we need, I think, Fernando Mendoza and who else?
Benson.
Yeah, so
Malik
it's
Benson.
live, and that's thanks to DraftKings. Obviously, you can't bet it now, so if you didn't get in on it, but I think over like 1,000 people had bet it before the game.
Yeah, and are you still going?
Yeah, I was going to read the DraftKings ad now. Might as well. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code ROUGH. New customers bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code ROUGH, ROUGH, to turn $5 and a $300 in bonus bets. If your bet wins in partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Once again, Brandon, I'm so sorry that you didn't hit your Ole Miss moneyline bet tonight.
I keep
really, really sorry.
I keep joking about that, and I did. It was it wasn't an insignificant amount of money. It was. I did pay. I'd pay it again.
I know you would.
I'd pay it again.
Yeah.
But,
There we go.
I could have just
That's
paid
right.
like $100 for it, but I was like, fuck it.
No,
I want this thing.
Well, because it is like if you're going to spend money on Ole Miss and spend a significant amount of money and they win, you want it to be something you can celebrate.
Yeah, it was enough that I would have been like, well, that's pretty good. But anyway, doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Mario Cristobal, gigantic victory, and not just I don't think just tonight, but I think this 3-game stretch has been so transformative for Mario Cristobal and the perception around him. Because last year he went 10-2 and barely missed the playoff, and the perception was still classic Miami, they're fucking up. They just that's Cristobal. He's never going to get there. Ever since the Georgia Tech miscue, or a few years ago, the late y'all know what I'm talking about. But this year they have a good team. They beat Notre Dame to start the season. They end up losing 2 games in retrospect to teams they should have handled, but they got to the playoff, and once they got to the playoff, it wasn't, hey, we're happy to be there. It was, hey guys, we are fucking good. We got the talent. We got the men up front. We got the guys. Let's fucking do it. And they go on the road to A&M and they do it in a nasty, ugly, dirty game. They go beat Ohio State, defending national champions. And tonight they take out a team who's got a little bit of magic to them and has got the quarterback. Mario Cristobal just changed everything about his career in 3 weeks. Kayce
I want to
Smith.
ask Liam a question.
Yeah,
because
go ahead.
we've had the conversation. We've had the conversation on the show a few times talking about Ohio State last year, kind of some of the disconnect between what college football always has been versus what it is now, right? Like they were clearly the best team, but in past systems, they wouldn't have deserved to be a champion. You could kind of throw Miami into that same boat, but I got to be honest, I'm kind of loving this. I like how this new system is allowing these teams, like who's going to put it together and become most impressive when the pressure is the highest. And that's exactly what this Miami team has done.
Yeah, I think to answer your question, I still would like it to be 8, but like I'm not going to be the Grinch for this. Like, yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying this playoff, and seeing Miami and Cristobal overcome all their demons is pretty satisfying to see.
Yeah,
and it's a terrific storyline. I will, at the end of the day, still put my head on my pillow and think, like I still want losses in the regular season to matter. And if you lose 2 games in a regular season, I don't think you should be playing for the right to be a national champion. Okay. I just kind of think that's on you, and you need to take care of your business in the regular season. And that's just kind of my mantra and what I believe. But this has been a terrific run. I look forward to seeing if they could win it all in their home. I wonder if it's going to be a half-empty Hard Rock like usual. That'd be hilarious. But, yeah, I mean, Miami, they got everyone knows they got a puncher's chance against Indiana or Oregon. We'll see how it goes. And again, just excited to see and blessed to see Malachi Tony play one more game of football this season.
I know that catch didn't count. It should have counted.
It's a catch.
Shades of Puka.
Shades exactly, Liam.
It was unbelievable.
Dude, his blocking's so good, too. We never get credit for it because he's a little receiver. His blocking's so good, dude. He's so willing and engaging. Like, football players like that don't grow on trees, man.
Did we shout out Keelan Marion at all?
He was
I mean,
good.
he
They had some.
Yeah,
He was
big
fun.
plays.
I mean, 7 catches, 114, 1 tud. Like
Beck missed
I know.
them naked on a drag.
Yeah. Oh yeah. At the at the end.
Yeah. Well, I know he missed him.
I mean, the pressure's there,
Pressure's
but
there. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else.
Brandon, I can't get enough of your tweets.
Oh, I'm working on it. It's tough doing this live show and also having to just rip off the bangers that I rip off. But
Thank God Ben Mintz can go on vacation now.
yeah, good for him.
is
Good for him.
he might get jail time for the night he had.
I-
The Manning debacle
Oh,
in the
that's true.
bathroom and the sunflower seeds
T-Bob, were
on the
you
guy
able
in
to-
front of him.
Big F,
Yeah.
y'all weren't in the room with us. Were y'all able to see the rise of Tate
Sintel?
Sintel?
Yes.
It was fantastic.
It is my belief that all of the youthful and energetic producers at Barstool Sports came together and colluded to juice Ohio State Sintel. Because every single one of them, be it Evo, Liam, whoever, they were all Wyatt, they were all tweeting it as if it was real. And it was fantastic.
Well, we all found out about it because Jack McCarthy started like dying laughing and wouldn't tell anybody what it was. And then all he said was Quiggs, and then said he's been Sintel'd. And we just knew like Quiggs is the mastermind behind this. But
I knew
did
it was
laugh-
somebody in house, dude.
It was Quiggs.
It was Quiggs.
Well,
It was
that's-
Quiggs.
Quiggs
That's-
is the best.
That's how good Quiggs is. Like you thought it was a team.
Right.
That was
It's
from the
just
brain
Quiggs.
of one man.
And,
One
and by the
crazy.
way,
talented man.
I saw that Tate tweeted this, that he had only learned, like the real Tate, not Sintel Tate. He learned about it because Biz asked if it was true. Biz
Yeah.
asked if he heard Mintz talk to the guy with the cancer survivor about using all of the money for his treatment.
Well, if you think about it, like he wouldn't have got all those donations without me. What's another 500 off
Oh,
100,000?
God. But another funny thing that people that were watching the stream watched, which, and obviously, like, I wanted Brandon to be the happiest person of all time. That's how much I love you. But there was a part of me that really wanted to witness Michael Kadick in a stadium full of Ole Miss fans. I've never seen somebody go from not really knowing much about Ole Miss fans to hating them as much as he did.
Can I say something? And I don't know if T-Bob is willing to go as far as I do in this space, but I am a little glad that Ole Miss fans were able to go mainstream a little bit, and you see who and what they are. And I had so many people texting me tonight, including one, and I'm not going to say Tate's name, but I had a guy texting me tonight saying, "Dude, these are the worst fucking people I've ever met. They're the worst." And I am so glad people have gotten a glimpse, just a little bit of success, what they turn into. The fact that they were flipping off and turning around and doing that to Danny Boy Kane, of all people, to Danny Boy Kane.
You notice how
You see
quick
Biz
they-
getting down there and say, "Hey, you shut the fuck up."
Oh, and then they shaped up real quick. When Dan told Biz,
I
to
never
go sit
felt like
there-
I was in a mafia meeting more than when Dan told Biz this.
Yes, when he was like, "Nobody touches Danny Boy Kane," and all Biz wrote back was, "Got it."
Done.
The enforcer, dude.
And then the next thing you know, Biz is standing there, and I asked this during halftime. I was like, "Do you guys think that like those kids like know that Biz could literally take an entire section of them by himself and like maybe take his shirt off one time?" And PFT goes, "Oh yeah, you could tell that as soon as they saw him, they knew exactly who the fuck he was."
Yeah. All right, I'm just going to ask a question. I got two observations that aren't really about this game. They're kind of about this game. Well, the first one is Miami won the game. They're playing for a national title. We've seen them be almost perfect against Ohio State. We saw them win in a struggle tonight. Well, that's not really right. They put together enough to win. They played well when they weren't making mistakes. It was a weird thing.
They overcame their demons.
They played very well and also made so many mistakes that negated so much playing well. I know what T-Bob's talking about. Like, when they weren't making mistakes, they were great.
Yeah, this sounds exactly like the Cristobal era in Miami.
But I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to go to every one of you, and I'm going to start with Big F. Can either of these teams tonight beat either of those teams that are playing tomorrow?
I think Miami could beat Oregon.
Okay.
I don't know if they could. I don't think they could beat Indiana. I think Indiana's too clean. It's kind of what I like. I just think they're too crisp. Like Miami will just make a mistake that I think Indiana won't make. But I think they could beat Oregon. I definitely do. I think they absolutely could beat Oregon. Oregon can make enough mistakes, and they're deep. They can get you into a rock fight.
Yeah.
You saw with the Texas Tech game. Like as much as they died, that game should have been 50-0. It was 23-0. I mean, they left a bunch of points on the board. I think Oregon's not always the cleanest team, so I definitely think Miami could beat Oregon.
T-Bob, you've nodded your head. Yes, they can.
Yeah, no, I think definitely on the Oregon front. Well, I should say a bit of this is contingent on health, right? Did Misador break his arm?
True,
It certainly looked like he might have broken his forearm. Like, that could be enough to maybe shift my thinking. But if we're assuming health, then I think Miami specifically is a good matchup for Indiana because them and Oregon are some of the only teams in the country that I believe can consistently hang in the trenches with them. Now, I do think Indiana's offensive threat and offensive line is superior to that of Ole Miss, and Miami's going to have to play better they will not shut them down in the same way from like a time possession manner or whatnot. But yes, what I saw out of Miami tonight, I think they're definitely good enough to beat Oregon. And while I would still favor Indiana, it'd be like a 55-45% in my mind. Like I think these two teams are very well positioned to match up with one another.
I disagreed, and I still do, with Blutman vehemently tonight. I think Miami's defensive line, Ruben Bain, they're going to have to show up a hell of a lot better than they did tonight. Ole Miss, I think they have one sack. Ole Miss, absolutely. Now, it was with the help of some Big Ten officials who just refused to call holds on tackles tonight.
Ruben Bain got.
I kind of like it, but it was egregious a couple times.
They were just Ruben Bain was getting hogtied a couple times. But you say it's because Ole Miss got the ball out quickly. I say there were plenty of passes where Ole Miss let the play develop and threw it 30 yards down the field. Miami's defensive line has to be better than they were tonight if they're going to beat Indiana or Oregon. That's what I think.
I really wish that I timed snap to throw all game for Ole Miss.
Ole Miss had several throws down.
I started timing snap to throw in the fourth quarter, and there were a few where it's like 1.8 seconds, 2.2 seconds. They're getting big chunk plays. Like they're getting rid of the ball very quickly to negate the deathly Miami pass rush. And like Miami could beat either Oregon or Indiana. I think both Indiana and Oregon are able to do the same thing against Miami, though, to limit their pass rush, limit the fear of Bain and Mesidor sans potential broken arm, where they just get rid of the ball quickly in the passing game and they get big chunk plays.
You might be right about that.
And then defensively, I think both of them could contain the run for the most part. And gun to my head, man, I don't trust Carson Beck being able to move the ball consistently through the air against those defenses.
No, I would say that about Carson Beck, but then again, you have to eat your words to a certain degree because of the way he played tonight. The thing is, and it's the same narrative we've been talking about the entire podcast. They cannot make the mistakes at the amount that they did tonight against Indiana or Oregon because those teams, they'll capitalize on it.
Especially not Indiana.
Right. The dropped interceptions, 4 dropped interceptions.
Hold on.
I've never seen anything like it.
Crazy.
I've never seen
Crazy.
anything like it. And 2 of them, the last 2, the ball, they didn't drop passes. They dropped tips that were given to them.
That last one?
Like Big Ev, if I walked into your apartment right now, walked to your couch, and I dropped this right into your lap, and it fell to your feet. That's what they did. I'd never seen. I was convinced they were throwing the fucking game.
I was catching it.
That last one, and again, it's the armchair quarterback, all the idiots on the couch saying that they could play better. No, that last one, all of us were like, we could have all caught that. I'm a girl, and I could have caught that, okay? But just the mistakes that they made, just the penalties, just everything, they will not be able to make those same mistakes and beat either Indiana or Oregon. Now, if they clean it up and they can, even if they don't drop 2 interceptions, maybe they can definitely hang in. But it's the same thing I said going into this game. I can't discredit Miami anymore because I tried to discredit them when they played A&M. I was wrong. I tried to discredit them when they played Ohio State. I was wrong. So I wasn't going to do that tonight. But Indiana is just so perfect across the board. It's hard to see anybody beating them.
Okay, now I have to have another conversation. Big Ev and Blutman, you guys are going to take the back seat, and me and Kayce and T-Bob are going to talk real quick. We just got to talk to each other. The the SEC is dead as far as the top of the unquestioned top of the sport anymore. The Big Ten is now the preeminent power conference. The SEC, the last team standing for the SEC, wasn't even all that good. Georgia lost last week. Like Alabama just got embarrassed. There's not an SEC team probably there's 3 teams better than the best SEC team at least, and there might be a couple more. But the SEC's run ended a while ago because they this is the 3rd straight year there will not be an SEC team, but maybe getting 5 playoff teams was a bit much, and the SEC has a little bit of work to do to get back to where it thinks it should be every single year, Kayce.
100%. It is it's the SEC bias has to stop. Whether if you think that's real or not, wildly overrated this year. Ev, I know you're not technically supposed to be listening to this part of the conversation, but I will say, Brandon, remember when Ev was trying to tell us that all year, and we would fight back, and it's normal to fight back when your team is playing in that conference, especially for myself because we were undefeated. The SEC was ass in comparison to the Big Ten this year.
T-Bob, thoughts?
Yeah, look, I don't know. I've been wringing my hands in anger for years now, saying that the gap between the SEC and the rest of the country wasn't like what everybody makes it out to be. Now, granted, I still thought the SEC was maybe slightly better or slightly underneath the Big Ten, so I'm still surprised by how far the Big Ten has pulled ahead. But yeah, this has been my entire problem with the subjectivity of the sport. Is that we sit there and we say, well, we know this to be true, and we just get proved wrong on the field, and then a lot of guys just want to double down on it. But I mean, we even saw it last bowl season, like you said, then everybody did the exact same thing again this year. So I don't know, maybe it'll eventually change. But I don't care. Good, fuck it. I want change.
Me too.
I want regime change. I want something new. And how much of the SEC dominance was just the Nick Saban knock-on effect? With Alabama normally winning and him having them at such an unbelievably high level that everybody trying to keep up with the Joneses and before it had been democratized through portal and NIL and whatnot, like Saban created this almost insanely competitive follow culture in the Southeast. And now instead of the Georgias and Alabamas just hoarding everybody, they're now spread out and diffusing throughout the entire country. And all of college football is better for it. The emperor had to die to cause chaos.
Wait. Let me have that take. Let me play with it. You give me that take.
Yeah,
Can I borrow
take it
that
here.
take for a
Here,
second?
yeah, here you go.
So what you're saying is the SEC's rise to dominance was actually built on the rise of Alabama and the SEC's arms race to keep up with them, and naturally everybody rose up with them and participated in that dominance with them. Okay, which means when Nick Saban retired and they went and hired a soft-ass West Coast coach to come into Alabama, the reason the SEC has fallen off over the last 2 and 3 years, it's Alabama's fucking fault.
Yeah, it's all Alabama's fault.
Fuck you, Alabama.
Yeah,
you
fuck
did this.
Piece of shit.
It would also maybe have to do with the fact that although Nick Saban would never admit it and, so on and so forth,
Right.
everyone else can pay players now.
Yep. Alabama and Georgia's advantage is gone.
Yeah, so when it became like a legalized paying system,
Yeah.
and they didn't have to hide things in, say McDonald's bags or whatever, everybody was on the even playing field.
All right, Big Ev, I see I'm willingly ignoring you. There's a TV to my right, and I'm looking away from you, but I can feel your fat fucking face smiling at me. Is he smiling? Is he smiling?
When I gave him the credit that I don't think he could hear because, it's just a safe space between you, me, and T-Bob, he was also smiling.
All right, go ahead.
No, I mean, listen, so I tried to say it all year. I was wrong about a lot of things. I was dead right about this. And going off the Saban Bama thing, it's just, where did the defense go in the SEC? Because that, to me, was the glaring thing all year, and you saw throughout the playoff and all that. Like, there was no dominant defense in the SEC, and any team that had a good offense, their defense was, mediocre at best. Even Georgia, the defense they had this year was appalling compared to the ones they've had over the last, 5 or so years. And, yeah, I mean, Oklahoma probably had the most consistent defense, and even them, they got bludgeoned in some spots. I just wonder if finally, going into this next season, if the poll voters and all this, if they'll catch on finally. If we'll just stop, randomly throwing, Mizzou and Tennessee and God knows whoever, in the back half of the top 25 for no other reason than that they're an SEC team. I'm wondering when will that finally end, where they just get the benefit of the doubt and teams get to go Tennessee and Missouri. I'm using them as an example because they were the teams that they didn't beat anybody all year and they were somehow ranked like 90% of the year. Like, when will we stop just giving all these teams the credit and then also lifting up the other mediocre teams that are even above them in the SEC and say, look, they beat Tennessee, they beat Mizzou, and everyone's sitting there like, that's the same thing as beating like fucking Rutgers.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're beating Northwestern. Like, it's not like it's no different, but mentally, like, the college football world has just been like beaten over the head with SEC propaganda for 2 decades straight. So they can't even process that like those teams are basically the same. They're not that different. But mentally we view them as different because of the propaganda, but on the field, they're pretty similar. And I'm wondering when we'll finally start to catch on to that and not get so lost in like name brand SEC teams and just look at ball, man.
I think
spot the ball and let's play.
It has
Because
to
these
happen
teams
this
get their
offseason,
asses
right?
kicked on the field.
I think right now you're right that it is the leftover propaganda is carrying a lot of brand names in the SEC. However, much of that 2-decade run, the propaganda was reality. And I think when the propaganda is reality, like from 2006 all the way up until like 2021, 2022, it was such reality that it probably takes 3, 4, 5 years of failure at the top of this league to realize, oh, fuck. Because the first year the SEC team didn't play for it, Alabama lost to that Michigan team in overtime. Mm-hmm. Last year, SEC team didn't play for it. Now this year, the last SEC team standing just wasn't even all that good. And that's what was troubling to me because that Georgia team we saw last week just didn't feel all that good. The Alabama team wasn't all that good. And now I think 3, 4 years into this thing, it's perception will catch up to the new reality of the SEC.
I feel like it has to at this point, right?
Well, let me
ESPN's got a vested interest, which does make this kind of interesting.
Yeah,
right?
yes.
this is
Bingo.
fun and
Bingo.
silly to talk about. This is fun and silly.
T-Bob, do you have the
Fun
Blue
and
Chew?
silly.
Yeah, I got it right here. Fellas. Hey, fellas. What's up, fellas? You already know what time it is. It's time to level up, and Blue Chew just dropped something crazy. I'm talking next level championship belt gold-plated energy. Blue Chew Gold is the newest innovation from the #1 chewable ED brand. It's ain't your grandpa's little blue pill. This is the 4-in-1 beast that's setting the gold standard for performance. We're talking 2 ingredients for blood flow to keep that rocket pumping, mixed with amphimorphine and oxytocin to turn up the arousal and connection in both your brain and body. Blue Chew Gold dissolves under your tongue and works in as little as 15 minutes. That means you can get it on quicker and stay in the game longer. We call it elevation without hesitation. This is peak passion and peak performance in a single tablet. If your bed could talk after this, it'd be asking for a break. So make life easier by getting harder. And discover your options at BlueChew.com. Great deal for our listeners right now. You get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code Roughness. That's promo code Roughness. Go to BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And as always, we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast.
All right. I think I'll go around the room one more time. If you want to get a final takeoff about tonight, or if you want to, this will be a little freestyle. You can talk about tomorrow's game. You can talk about tonight. You can talk about whatever you want. I'll save mine till the end. Kayce, go.
No, I'm just going to put another bow on the fact that Carson Beck, like this, you talk about narratives going into the playoff and looking at these Final Four teams. We talk so much about Ole Miss and without Lane and all this, but like the Carson Beck story with him going into Georgia and like, oh my God, he's going to win them another national title, and then having to leave Georgia and getting paid all that money and just everything going into this. Like Carson Beck, albeit not perfect and sometimes very ugly, like he should get all the credit in the world. And like, that in his head, like everything he did going into Miami and all the things that he said about, how he wanted to prove the haters and the doubters wrong, like regardless of what happens in the national championship, that to me, like they've been proven wrong, unless he just throws 6 interceptions. But I think that Carson Beck deserves all the credit in the world. And as somebody who believed in him, then stopped believing in him, I'm fully back in.
Big Ev, your final take.
I just want to say this because no one's brought it up. Last play, we can't, even though it was pass interference, we can't call that, right?
You can't call that.
No.
That's how I feel. I was getting
nature of the
that,
beast.
I was getting shit for it. I understand, like, people will say, oh, like, you got to call it the same way no matter what stage of
No.
the game it is. You just can't call that there. You just can't. It was pass interference, but you just can't call it.
Reality
Can't
is
do it.
reality. The end zone in a Hail Mary is every man for his fucking self.
Yeah, it's a war
Yeah,
zone.
and
The offense has to know that as well. The offense can be just as physical. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to dare the referees to throw a flag for both sides of the ball.
What's the game in the pool when you were a kid, and like one person had a football and like everybody was, however many yards away and you threw it up and like you all tried to catch it?
500.
Yeah.
500.
That's what we called it.
Like that is exactly what is actually happening on those plays. Like everybody can just push each other and jump up and try to catch the ball, in my opinion.
T-Bob, final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think with my final time, I just want to continue to celebrate this wonderfully smash mouth Miami football team. In a day and age where we've seen a lot of finesse football take over, in a day and age where, the sport is so vastly different from things that we recognize we grew up with, and guys are transferring all over the place and money's being paid. And in many ways, it can be very new and upsetting to some, but how this Miami team plays football is so wonderfully old school and recognizable and physically inspiring. I mean, just winning on the lines of scrimmage, Fletcher running people over, consistent. I love the run game. The run game, again, it's like a great boxer just stacking body shots. And by the fourth quarter, you watch the person's will break. They just don't want it anymore. Credit to Ole Miss. They held on the barrage, but still, I love watching this Miami team play football. And then I love hearing stories about how they have the most physical practices in the entire country. We've had multiple people tell us that on WUB. And so shout out to Miami and Cristobal for going old school, going physical in an age of finesse and softness and finding their way to a national championship for the first time in 20 years.
Liam, your final word?
I love Mario Cristobal saying, I'm going to go watch the film. We should have scored 10 more points. I think that is a phenomenal answer right after clinching a national championship berth. That's a true ball lover, ball knower answer. Love that. Final thoughts. ESPN didn't show near enough Ben Mintz. They didn't show near enough Michael Irvin.
Agreed.
Not sure what's going on there. Those are two seismic misses. Understand your audience. KYP, know your personnel. And, I really truthfully did not care who won tonight. I just wanted to watch a really good football game. And I'd be lying if I said a little bit of me wasn't a little sad Ole Miss didn't pull off a miracle for the sole reason I kind of wanted to see Ben Mintz and Michael Kadick tear it up in Miami. A little part of me wanted to see it so bad.
Yeah. The
I'm
Mincy
sure,
magic almost did it. The drop picks and everything.
I was fine that the free ride ended tonight.
Yeah, but your bet.
Anyway,
I was just rooting for your bet.
So
Loser of the day.
I got one more ad, and then I'm gonna do my final thought.
Has Mincy cried on camera yet?
I hope so. The new year is here. Get back into an ad.
Oh no.
The new year is here.
Oh,
Get back into an at-home routine you love and elevate your space with Wayfair. From bedding and mattresses to storage solutions for every room in the house, Wayfair is your one-stop shop. Refresh your living room with accent pillows, mirrors, and faux plants for way less. I'm looking right now. I'm in the Wayfair business right now. I'm looking for a new sofa. I'm going to rebuild my home studio, and I'm looking for a lot of shelving this year, a lot of bookcases, a lot of shelving. So Wayfair is a great place to do that, I promise you. Wayfair has everything your home needs this season. Home decor for an all-around refresh, storage for every space, storing outdoor furniture, bathroom, getting organized, etc., and kitchen essentials for easy weeknight dinners. Get organized, refreshed, and back on track this new year for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. I'm going to end tonight's show with some shout-outs. I have about 7 or 8 of them. I want to shout out first. I want to shout out T-Bob Abear. T-Bob, it is 11:23. T-Bob will be hosting Wake Up Barstool tomorrow at 7 a.m., and he'll have to get in his car about 4:30 or 5. So good for him. Watch him tomorrow from 7 to 9 Central on Wake Up Barstool. Shout out to and also T-Bob. I'll be here because I'm sleeping on that couch tonight. Anyway,
Home tonight?
Huh?
You're not going to go home?
No, I'm sleeping on that couch.
I've done that before.
Shout out number 2, Tate.
Oh,
Yes.
Barstool Tate.
that man
Build
needs
the
a nap.
statue.
For the fact that the irony of this incredible week of content is that it would not have happened because Ben Mintz usually just gets free vacations and gets to go to all these games, and he never documents any of it. He tweets once, and his laziness is not capitalized on. Tate and somebody saw an opportunity, send somebody, document it. Tate did. He documented this idiot from pillar to post, and it was incredible and magical, and Tate, I think, was MVP this week.
Lazy River tomorrow.
Yeah.
Shout out number 3, Chris, the
Yes.
stage 4 cancer patient who saved a seat on the Southwest plane for Mitzi on Friday or on Thursday, whenever he flew out. He saved a seat for him. Chris was going to Arizona for his cancer treatments. Big Cat, everybody at Barstool, they fell in love with Chris immediately. Shirt went up for sale. I believe the last count, it was over $50,000 raised for Chris's cancer battle. His family, his 1-year-old daughter. He seems like an amazing person and a stoolie. Shout out to you, Chris. Biz and Riggs. Biz and Riggs opening their homes to those idiots and making magic. Danny Boy Kane along for the ride, and just every single clip today, no matter if it was about him or not, he is in the background doing something hysterical. Lane Kiffin, who was duped into talking on camera by Ben Mintz. Ben Mintz FaceTimes him and absolutely records it. And Lane's like, "What? Why'd you record that? I was just doing you a favor." But Lane, shout out to you for doing your part.
And just so the two of you know on the other side, because I know everybody in the office knows, he's actually very angry.
Yep.
Like very, very.
And the last shout out and the most important, and I do refrain. I don't like getting sentimental or serious on this show.
Well,
But I'm going to do it right now.
oh God.
The last shout out. Do you know who it's going to be?
I have an idea.
The last shout out
Mm-hmm.
goes to me, Brandon Walker, because I withstood hell over the last couple of weeks. I dodged a bullet. I told everybody in the world how shitty these Ole Miss fans were. I got this close, and my God, I think I did a hell of a job getting all the way to a national semifinal with these arch rival pieces of shit. I think I did a hell of a job, and I clapped for him, and I applauded, and I tipped my cap to him, but I survived the Lane Kiffin era. Lane Kiffin is gone. The team he built will be gone. The era is over, and we're never going to be here again, T-Bob, and for that, thank God.
Got
and
your
shout
back,
out
dog.
to me, and shout out to you too, T-Bob, because they're not your arch rival like they are mine, but you don't like them either.
I fucking hate him. And by the way, those 3 guys are yelling there. That's Thad, Brad, and Chad.
Yes.
I mean, they're fucking. It's the entire fan base.
and you know what they are? Sad.
There you go, Dr. Seuss.
Bars.
Hey, the facts, and I know, like, they lost, it's fine, but Dan said it. I know you said it earlier in the podcast. The world got to see how right you are, Brandon Walker, about Ole Miss fans, because the perfect Ole Miss fan embodied was the one talking shit to Danny Boy Kane.
Yeah.
Like, it was just the exact person you would craft, and just Kadick wanted to beat their asses all night.
Now, I'm sorry, Brandon. You did forget one shout out.
Oh.
You forgot to shout out Corey, the driver.
I did.
Yeah, Corey did a phenomenal job driving them all day.
What are you doing?
Are you on the phone right now?
No, on text to speech.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Danny.
I gotta send this to the
Crazy.
fellas.
Wait, Brandon,
Corey did a phenomenal job driving them all day. I don't know if Ole Miss even knows who Corey is still,
Yeah.
but this guy wakes up early to drive them around Scottsdale all day long, and Ben Mintz never said a word to him.
All right. The less we say about that, the better. T-Bob's got to go to bed. He's got it tomorrow.
my
What?
God.
Show it to me. Yeah, the Grok bikini trend got to the gambling cave tonight, and we're all in bikinis. Hold it up to the camera again.
I don't look
Yeah,
right.
Zoom in here.
Who tweeted
This-
this? I need to find this.
They're everywhere.
I'll send it in the group text. This is also the one where, I guess we're not. This is at one point, PFT, Kadick, Brandon, Dan, and I were all like touching each other, or that sounded really bad, or like holding hands. And now we're all doing it in bikinis.
All right. T-Bob, go to bed. Watch him tomorrow morning. the 5 of us will be back tomorrow night. Oregon, Indiana, hell of a night tonight. We got another one. College football. That is Unnecessary Roughness.